If you can get me, kindly type yes, yes in the chat. Okay, okay. Perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and you're all welcome to the day 4 of our African Digital Summit. So today, we are honored to welcome Barrister Kah Derine as the moderator for today's session at the Digital Market at the African Digital Summit. She is a distinguished lawyer, a member of both the Rwandan Bar Association and the East African Law Society. With credentials as a certified mediator, public speaker, and humanitarian, she has brought a wealth of experience in leadership and advocacy. Barrister Derine is actively involved with Julie's Outreach Foundation, where she has dedicated several years to community empowerment, education through technology, and value-based leadership. Her commitment to uplifting underprivileged communities and fostering economic opportunities makes her a valuable voice in conversations that shape inclusive progress. Please join us in welcoming Barrister Kah Derine as the moderator of today's session. Thank you very much. Barrister, over to you. Barrister, your mic is muted. Can you kindly unmute your mic?
Okay, thank you very much for that warm introduction. Please, if you can hear me, confirm it through the chat so I know we are together. Okay, I can see some confirmations. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 4 of our virtual digital jam. I am not only honored to be here, but I think it's a very, very distinguished privilege for me to moderate on our day 4. Now let's talk about day 4. The power of foundation, focus, and forward motion. That is the meaning of 4. When we think about 4, let's talk about the 4 corners of a chair, 4 directions to a compass. It signifies stability, it signifies structure, and it signifies strength. On this day 4, we are not just going to build intention, but we are going to lay a serious foundation for our social media strategy going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, trendsetters, welcome to this space where creativity meets conversation, where we are going to, in today's discussion, talk about how social marketing, the social space has changed our lives enormously. We are going to have 3 powerful women who will use their experience and their credentials in order for us to change the game. Without further ado, please allow me welcome the guest speaker, the first speaker of the day, a social media marketer. She is going to be the keynote speaker of the day. And in 30 minutes, she is going to explain to us how social media marketing is important in the digital space. These women have actually understood that in 2025, attention is currency. And these folks have paid in full. So please, join me, welcome our first speaker of the day, Mrs. Bime Lira. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we are itchy, we are anxious to hear from you. If you are there, please over to you, Mrs. Lira. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Please, if you can get me, please type in the chat box. You can get me live on live, 5 on 5, so that I know I am with you guys. Okay, Ines says yes. Okay. Kumalo says yes. Okay. Okay, so I guess we can write on. Thank you once more and good evening again. I am really, really excited to be with you guys and to share my own knowledge about social media marketing with you all. Yes, we're not going to waste much time. We're just going to dive in straight into what social media marketing is all about. It is something we have been hearing. It is something we are living. Most of us, we are using these platforms, these different platforms. And so it will just be more about discussing about it, the beauty about social media marketing. If you're not yet using it, you should, by the end of this event, you should be able to start using it and you should start seeing the results. Yes. So, um, you know, some years back, when I started into the journey of the digital world, I started as a graphic designer, and it all started from school because we had a graphic designing course in the software engineering department. And then while I was doing the graphic designing course, I was like, oh, this course, I could actually do it as a side hustle, to be able to, have something to take care of myself in school. And then while I was doing the graphic designing, I joined it together with videography. So I was doing both because I realized that while doing the graphic designing, it was like focusing on one type of content, whereas many people were also looking for different type of content, and I wanted to be versatile. So I did train myself on the graphic designing and videography. And then I remember a certain construction firm, a company came towards me because they wanted me to do their video advert, and which I actually did it for them. It was a construction firm, small construction firm, and something actually pondered it, made me to be able to ask questions because I realized that I did this video art. I gave it to them. Of course, they paid me what I had charged. But then I realized that if they didn't know how to use this video art, if they didn't know how to use it to be able to attain their goals or objectives, then all that we had actually done was going to be wastage. So I realized that what they actually needed was marketing, how they were going to be able to market that video so that it can be able to tell the story, because through that video it was telling the story about your brand, about their construction firm. And that was when I saw the need of going into marketing. I was like, which means I need to be able to know how I can I can be able to work around these social media platforms, how I can actually market them, and be able to convert the audience, be able to convert every follower, be able to convert every person in my social media different platforms, be able to convert them into customers. And that is how I started. And then along the line, I came back to them and I was like, you guys know what? You still remember that video we did, right? Let's get back to it. Let's see how we can better market it. Because prior to that, they were using just WhatsApp. And you and I, we know that WhatsApp, it's mostly our family members and our friends. And one thing with business that we all know, of course, that I don't need to be talking about is when you're talking about business, please keep family and friends there, because keep family and friends aside, because they just most of the time come to motivate. They are not your real customers. So imagine you having a WhatsApp forum or having in your WhatsApp contact, you have about 100 people. And then out of that 100 people, you have about 80 people who are family and friends for some of us who come from very large families. Then you realize that you have just 20 people who you can actually turn or convert them into customers. That's actually small, you know. And so we started seeing how we could use Facebook and Instagram, you know, trying to create more videos, to post, tell their stories through this different type of content. And within 6 months, there was a great sale. Like they increased in their profits, they increased in their engagement, in their visibility. Now, that's just to tell you the power of social media marketing. That's to tell you the power of marketing using the social media platforms. So when we talk of social media marketing, what is social media marketing? Social media marketing is simply the use of these different platforms. When we're talking of the different platforms, of course, each and every one of us, we know about it. We're talking of Facebook, we're talking of Instagram, we're talking of LinkedIn, we're talking of TikTok, we're talking of Twitter, which is now X. All these social media platforms is just simply the way you use it in order to promote your brand, in order to promote your products, in order to promote your services. Now, when we just talk of this, people think that they have understood what this social media marketing means. But it's not just about you knowing the fact that it is you using Facebook to market your product. No, the key question here is, how do you market your products and services? Yes, it is not enough to just know that, oh, social media marketing, it's all about marketing your products and services online. No, the key thing is, how do you market your product and services? If you do not know the right way to market your product and services, trust me, you're not going to make it. That's it. And so it is about what you guys need, what each and every one of us, we need to understand is that when most of the times we come online, we think that social media platforms is simply, or social media marketing is simply us coming online every day and then just posting, you know, posting and then we go back. No, social media marketing, it's more than that. Social media marketing, it's about connection. It's about you connecting with your audience. Okay, it is not just about selling, because some of us, we think that, okay, because I have a business that say that I am into clothing, and then I just say that, okay, there are 2 billion users on Facebook, let me just go and post, you know, and then put the price tag and boom, that's it. No, it doesn't work that way. You realize that you keep posting and posting, you get no reactions, you get no views, no likes, and you get no followers, and you keep asking yourself, what is going wrong? What is going wrong is because you're doing it wrong. You're not understanding the algorithm. You're not understanding what exactly it is about. Social media marketing, it's not about sales. It's not just about selling. It's about connecting with your audience. It's about telling your story. Remember that your brand is you. Your products and services, they are you. Okay? And so if picture it as you go to a marketplace and then you want people to know about you. You're trying to talk. How do you talk in order to grab the attention of the people in the market? Now, if you're able to have that in mind, then I bet you would know how best you can actually strategize in order to accomplish this goal. So that's simply what social media marketing is all about. And when you're coming online, you need to come with objectives, okay? Why you're doing the social media marketing. Do you want to attain, do you want to increase your sales? Do you want visibility? All of this matters because it guides you in how you can strategize. And now, let me tell you how social media marketing is such a game changer for African entrepreneurs and businesses. So much so that if you are a business person or you're an entrepreneur, no matter how small your business is, no matter how little you're still starting, trust me, social media marketing is the tool for you. And how is it that? First of all, you should be able to understand that social media marketing, it's very, very affordable. Yes. If we're trying to compare traditional marketing, which it's all about products and services through TVs, through televisions, through radios, through billboards, you would realize that social media marketing is actually quite affordable, you know, because why doing with TV? First of all, you're going to pay a lot of money to just appear on any TV news, and you're going to pay a whole lot of money just to get these billboards, just to be able to be on the radio stations. And then you're not even sure that you're going to attain your goal. Because imagine you decide to go for a radio station option. Radio stations, they have their frequency, they have their limit. If it's just the one, if it just ends in Accra, in Ghana, how do people in Lagos get to know about you? About the billboards. If the billboards is only in Abuja, how do the people in Port Harcourt how do you be able to know about your products and services? How do the Cameroonians reach you? How do the Kenyans reach you? Okay, so you realize that it's kind of limited unless you need to increase the money, and the money is really huge. But with social media marketing, you can start with just 0 francs. All you need is a social media platform. You need to create a page, do the necessary basic things that you have to do, get your data on, and once you've got the creativity, the mindset, the right strategy, you can just ride on. Yeah, so it is affordable. And one thing you need to understand too is that your market is online. Yeah, just Facebook has about 2 billion users, 2 billion monthly users. So every day people are scrolling. The world is fast becoming digital. Every day people are scrolling on these different social media platforms. So what are you doing? You need to understand that your customers, they are on this platform. They spend most of your times in these different platforms. So if you want to get them, you need to come to these different platforms and grab their attention. And then social media marketing also helps you build your brand. It also helps you build your brand voice and stand up from the crowd, okay? When you post consistently, when you're able to understand what your product and services is all about, the difference it actually brings, then you will know the right way to tell your story in a way that it is understandable and can reach the audience. It touches your audience, it connects with your audience, and that is how you're able to stand out in the social media, in the different media platform space, So it's just about you knowing the right content to use. It's about you knowing which way to tell your story. It's about you being consistent in your post, in your storytelling, in whatever you're doing online. When it's you being able to engage with your audience, and when you're able to do this, trust me, you're going to stand out. Another beautiful thing that social media marketing offers is that it gives us data. It gives us data about our audience, which is something very crucial. The more you understand and know your audience, the better for you to know what product you actually give them. That's just it. If your audience, for example, I am a shoe, I sell shoes, female shoes, and my audience is between 18 to, let's say, 30 years old, I would then realize that already knowing that my audience, majority of my audience is 18 to 30 years old, I know that the type of shoes that I have to sell to them are shoes that are flashy, high heels, sporting things. So you'll not go and buy shoes that are more profile, they're more profitable for older women, And that's the beauty that social media marketing brings. It offers you the right data to use to be able to know about your audience. What is your audience interest? What do they like? What don't they like? Where are they found? Where are they based? Where best do your marketing, where best do your products actually sell? Where best is your brand more audible? Where best do they listen to you? It gives you all that data. And once you're able to sit down and analyze and see all these things, you'll be able to know how to better sell your products and services, okay? And now, when we are talking of these different social media marketing platforms, we know quite a lot. I had really named some, but some of the key platforms that we all know is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and so forth. These are the basic ones. And so if you're still a small entrepreneur, a small business, you will be asking yourself, okay, with all these different social media platforms, where do I start from? Well, you just need to understand that the first thing you need to understand is that social media platforms, they have their different objectives. And so once you're able to understand their different objectives, you would be able to know the right platforms to use. Okay. For example, if you're someone that you're more into comedy, you would probably use Instagram, you would use Facebook, because that's where the greater majority of people are. Basically, Facebook and Instagram, they're more for entertainment. Okay, so you know that if you're someone in the entertainment industry, then these are the right platforms for you. If you're someone who does into this type of small businesses that attract more the younger generations, you will understand that TikTok, that's where you will find them. That's where you will find the Gen Z generation. And so if you want to capture them, then just go to TikTok. If you're more of the professional person, if your business is more of a B2B, you would understand that LinkedIn is the go way for you. You know, LinkedIn is more for professionals. LinkedIn, it's not for comedians. LinkedIn is definitely not for entertainment. It's for the serious-minded ones. So once you're able to know the right type of social media platform, you can be able to know where to start from. And I always advise to any one who comes to me trying to see how they can start up, I always say, do not try to start in all the platforms, okay? It is one step at a time. If you feel comfortable in Facebook and you see that your audience is in Facebook, start from Facebook. And then as you're growing, you can now go into other platforms. But of course, it's never a bad thing to still try in 2 or 3 platforms. So that's what social media marketing it's all about. Now, when we talk about social media marketing, you need to understand that there are basically 2 types of social media marketing. You always hear it. You always talk about organic ads. You always talk about paid ads. Yes. And then what we should know, most of the times, all of us, we tend to think that the paid ads it's the goal, because when we talk about paid ads, it is you using paying the different social media platforms so that they can help you market your product and services. And then we're just like, okay, so if I have $100, I can just give Facebook, right? And then Facebook is just going to do the work for me. Now, that's where many people tend to make mistakes, and then they realize that they keep spending and spending, and it's like these platforms, they are scamming you. No, the platforms are not scamming you. You don't just know the right strategies to use. So when you're dealing with paid ads, you need to understand, first of all, the algorithm of these different platforms, okay? You need to know your audience. Very important if you're dealing with paid ads. Who are your audience? Because you are the one that will channel Facebook. You are going to tell Facebook, you're going to tell Instagram, you're going to tell LinkedIn, you know what? Or Facebook, you know what? I sell shoes and my people, they are 18 to 30 years old. They are based in the Western Africa, they're based in West Africa, and they are more of the younger generation. You just give those type of, when you're able to give all those details, then Facebook will know exactly where to end the shot. They'll know exactly where to end your product so that people can get it as much as possible. Yeah, so you need to be able to know your audience. You need to have a clear objective. Yes, there are different objectives within this paid ads. And if you don't know the right one, you're going to realize that you're wasting your money. What is your objective? Do you want to increase your visibility? It is different from trying to make profit. It is different from trying to drive traffic to your website. So you need to be able to know all of that. And of course, you need to use good quality content. Now, the mistake many of us return to make is that since we think that we are paying Facebook, we allow all the work to these different social media platforms. Now, I am just using Facebook because it's the most common among all of us. Yeah, so we just feel like because we've paid Facebook, I don't know, $100, if we have the money, we just sit down and watch them, which is not the case. You need to be able to still do some work in the background to ensure that you are going to achieve your objectives and goals. Remember, these social media platforms, they are only interested in the money, okay? So if you don't give clear definitions of what you want, you're not going to get clear results. So you need to work on your content, create good content. And if you had been with us from day one, you realize that they have talked about the different content tools that you can actually use to better perfect your content, such as you could use Canvas, you could use, there are different video apps that you can actually use to help you. If you're using mobile phones, you can actually use KineMaster, you can use CapCut, they're just a whole lot. So you need to be able to master certain things of certain of those things in order to have good and quality content. And then when we talk of organic ads is the opposite of paid ads. So with organic ads, you're not paying Facebook, quite all right. You're not paying any of these social media platforms. But what you're actually doing is that you're growing your business by yourself, okay? Now, sometimes people feel like it's a little bit lengthy and it gets boring. Sometimes people spend 6 months, even close to a year, without making results, without seeing results, without making sales, without attaining any of their objectives. And then the question is, where did I go wrong? Yes, like I said in the beginning, you need to understand that there are strategies you have to use. You need to post consistently. You need to come back and observe your post. Yes, most of the times we just post and then we disappear. No, come back, connect with your audience. The key important thing when it comes to social media marketing is that you need to build connections. You need to build relationship with your audience. You need to create a bond with your audience, okay? And so the question is, how do you create it? That is where the strategy lies, okay? Yes, so you need to be, because you need to trust, you need to make your audience trust you. People nowadays, they buy from those they trust. They don't buy from the ones that have the best art, the best video quality. No, they buy from those they trust. If I trust your product, I can give you 1 million if you charge me that 1 million. Because I trust in your product, I trust in your brand, I trust in you. But if I do not trust in any of these things, why am I going to give my money to you? You need to think like them to be able to answer those questions positively. And so you need to post good content. Tell your stories. Yes, tell the story behind your brand. Use behind scenes moments. It helps a lot. Use real hashtags, use video reels. It helps a lot to be able to boost up your visibility in these different social media platforms. Okay, so that's just what social media marketing is all about. And that's just a tip of what every one of you, wherever you are, to sign up for the offline, if the on-site events that will be coming up soon. And trust me, you are going to get detailed notes about all these things, how you can actually use social media marketing in order to be able to market your product and services, in order to skyrocket from 0 followers to 10,000 followers, 10,000 customers. Okay, yes. And so some exciting trends that we African followers, we African business entrepreneurs, we need to follow, we need to meet up with, is that you need to use Reels. Okay, those are the various trending tools that are being used in this era of social media marketing, in this era of digital marketing. And so if you do not master them, you're lacking behind. Yes, so you need to use short videos. You need to be able to do you need to be able to collaborate. Yes.
Please, you have 5 minutes to round up. Thank you so much. The
Okay.
conversation is really interesting. Yeah, but just take 5 minutes to round up. Okay, we are going to get back to you, of course. I can already see
Exactly.
the questions floating in, and you will still have time to talk.
Okay, yes, I was already rounding up. Okay, thank you. So, like I was saying, the different trends that you need to use, you need to post using videos. Okay, use Reels on Facebook and Instagram. You need to make that use of that. You need to collaborate with other people within your niche. Collaborate with influencers within your niche. Very important. Okay, yes. So those are some of the trends that you can actually use. And of course, I would like to conclude by saying that social media marketing, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity in this era. in whatever you're doing. If you're not yet using social media marketing, trust me, you're still lagging behind. And this is a wake-up call for each and every one of us to get up, try to see how we can actually strategize in order to market our products and services, in order to be seen, in order for our story to be heard in these different platforms. If they're hearing about the stories of other people, then why are they not hearing about yours? Yours is as important as their own. Yes, and so that was it that I had for you all today. So thank you and over. Irene, I think your mic is muted.
Thank you very, very much for that insightful conversation so far. If a lot of you are wondering why she's speaking so eloquently and without any stress, it's because she knows what she is doing. She has a solid foundation in communication, leadership, and she's passionate about bridging the gap in marketing, technology, and business. So Lira has worked with individuals and companies across various industries, crafting tailored digital strategies and boosting visibility. Her profile is enormous. She's a proud CDP and Google certified digital marketer and expert. She brings a powerful blend of strategy, technology, and impact to the table. That is why you hear her speaking so eloquently and effortlessly, because she knows exactly what she's doing. Thank you very much for giving us such insights. For us to have a little recap on what she has said so far, she's just in simple words explained to us how we can do what we can do in order to market our products and services. The two main things she stated is when it comes to type of social media ads, she spoke about paid ads, she spoke about organic ads and how to go about it. And one thing that caught my interest here is if you are a startup, then you should not overwhelm yourselves trying to, target all of the social media handles at once. Understand the different platforms and what they stand for, and make sure you target it accordingly. So thank you so much. And she ended with this very important quote that social media is not a luxury, but a necessity. She has understood what it takes in order to make it big, because everyone is on social media right now. Everyone parades the streets of the media and people are making the best of it. So thank you very much, Lira, for that very insightful. Everything you spoke is very useful. And we are going to come back to her because I can already see questions coming in. People are already interested in your social media handles. I'm sure they are going to get that at some point of the conversation. Now, we are going to move to the second speaker of the day. I am so interested. I am so anxious. I am so overwhelmed to welcome another speaker. This time, she is a Cameroonian too, just as Lira, a digital strategist, social media expert, educator, content creator. We are going to meet Ines Ntsama, a powerhouse in social media strategy and digital transformation from Cameroon. With over 12 years of experience, Inès has developed impactful content strategies for brands, enterprises, and content creators, helping them to grow influence and engage across digital platforms. For the past 3 years, she has been actively teaching digital marketing and transformation in Cameroon, empowering students, professionals, entrepreneurs to embrace the power of digital tools and platforms. At the same time, she leads by example, consistently producing authentic content that resonates with her audience. Her work bridges strategy and creativity, making her a leading voice in Africa's content ecosystem. At the virtual African Digital Summit, Inès will share insights on social media strategy, authentic content creation, and the role of digital transformation in Africa's growth. If you are looking forward to elevate your content, to elevate your game, to embrace digital change with purpose, then you cannot lose attention. Please join us to welcome this powerhouse as she brings her wealth of influence. Thank you very much, Ines, for being with us, and we cannot wait to get everything you have for us today. Over to you. In 15 minutes, please. 15 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Derine, for the introduction. It makes me a bit shy. I cannot believe that I'm the one that they are introducing this way, but hey, thank you. I'm so happy to be here with everyone. I cannot even let you guys imagine. I just entered my house like 5 minutes ago because I had to walk out of town all day long, but I was rushing to make sure that I will be on time. But here I am. I'm so happy to be here. So yes, like she said, I'm Ines Ntsama, and for the past 12 years, I've been working with brands, enterprises, international organization in order to implement an authentic. I insist on the authentic part because to me is really important. That's what makes the difference between someone who's using social media in order to just get to their target audience and someone who really wants to make sure that their audience will become like an ambassador that they will not pay actually. This is what I'm really meant to do. This is what I've been doing for the past 12 years. So to me in 2025, if you don't know about social media or you don't use social media efficiently, is really like you're missing something. It's like you're not taking advantage of something that is just gifted to you. So I'm here to make sure that anyone who wants to know how to use social media to their own, so that they can reach their goals, know exactly how they're supposed to do it. And I'm always available, actually. I think that Lira already set the tone. She said everything that needed to be said for people who still hesitates to use social media in 2025. So for the rest, we will just discuss how to use it efficiently and what will make you different from the others on social media. Yeah. Can you guys hear me actually? I just want to make sure that I'm not talking by myself. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lira. Okay. Anyhow, maybe because before we give before we have someone else. One thing I will also say nowadays is that social media is a tool that should be used in the right way. Okay, we have a lot of people who just join social media because they see others doing the same thing. Some of the clients that I receive most of the time will be like, okay, for example, I have a spa and I want to make sure that I get more clients. And I saw that such and such who also has a spa is, for example, working with this type of influencers or making this type of content. So I want you to make the same thing so that I will have the same result. And my first thing will always be like, are you sure that you have the same audience or that you have the same target of like that person? Do you know your audience? Do you know what you're selling to your audience? Do you know how you're supposed to sell it? That's exactly what we call a content strategy, and that's what we are supposed to talk about tonight. A content strategy will be the foundation to everything that you will be doing on social media. The content strategy will be the one paper that will make sure that you get to your target audience, but with the right techniques. The content strategy will be all the informations that you need to get in order to know exactly which type of content, which type of social media you are supposed to use. Are you supposed to go on Facebook because you want to be popular? Are you supposed to go on TikTok because you want to trend? Are you supposed to go on LinkedIn because you want to get more professional? That's exactly where you will know how you will get your target audience. But the content strategy is also where you will know exactly which type of content that you will be able to create, how long you will have to create those type of content, but also when you will be able to post those type of contents and for which type of audience actually. So people often in our environment here mistake content strategy with like a communication plan. It's not the same thing, but the content strategy is so important nowadays that if you don't start with a clear content strategy, you will just be doing anything on social media and you will not reach your goals. So we need to know exactly why we are going on social media and what we want to achieve. And the best way to know that is to work firstly on your content strategy, and then you start to be consistent and you will know exactly which type of people you want to reach. Or like Lira said, eventually, if you want to work with other creators or maybe with influencers, you will see that by keep just showing up and just by watching your results, like every month, for example. And that's why the content strategy is really important. Yes. I think we will go further after. Oh.
Thank you, Inès, for that very brief and insightful information you just shared. If we heard you correctly and accurately, you were discussing your experience on how to use all of these social media handles efficiently to the best, how we can maximize this. And you mentioned something that I share a lot with when you mentioned that a lot of people just hop into social media without actually knowing what they are doing there. They are just following the crowd. But you are bringing to this audience today why exactly they should use social media. And you mentioned that knowing how to post, when to post, and why you're posting in the first place is very, very important. So you're bringing to us the intentionality behind social media. And in a summary, if I can use two words, you mentioned content strategy, right? So thank you so much. Thank you very much. We are going to come back to you, of course. We can't have enough of you for sure. But within this time, we are going to make sure that we drain everything you have, all that experience, all that good stuff you have. You are not going back with any. A lot of people will want to eventually benefit from you. Thank you so much. And we are going to move straight to the third and final speaker of the day. She's a lady too. We are really, really blessed to have this powerful women coming up strongly who have understood, as we mentioned before, that social media is the way out because we are not just in the physical, we all are perusing the social media streets, and it is high time we make the best out of it. So I am going to introduce this phenomenal woman and panelist who is going to wrap it up for us today. the speaker of the spotlight, Mariette Vernyuy. She is a Cameroonian digital marketing expert, SEO and social media specialist, a content creator. We are very excited to spotlight Mariette, an emerging voice in Africa's digital marketing space, who is passionate about helping individuals and businesses grow online through smart and effective strategies. With over 8 months of hands-on experience in SEO, social media marketing, content creation, and paid advertising, Mariette brings fresh insights and a result-driven mindset to every project. Her dedication to staying ahead of digital trends has made her a trusted consultant for small businesses and entrepreneurs looking to improve visibility and reach online. Mariette's strength lies in combining creativity with strategy, crafting content that connects with audiences, optimizing digital presence for search engines, and managing paid campaigns that deliver real impact. She is on a mission to make digital marketing accessible, practical, powerful for African businesses. As a speaker at the African Digital Conference, she joins other digital change makers to share strategies for building online success in today's fast evolving digital economy. With such an endless profile, reach, I am just overwhelmed. I can't wait to hear Mariette share with us everything she has to share. So, without further ado, and in 15 minutes, please, ladies and gentlemen, trend setters, change makers, help me welcome to the spotlight our expert, specialist, and content creator, Mariette Vernyuy. You are so welcome. We are happy and excited to have you today. Please, over to you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my fellow social media experts. It's indeed an honor to be here, and I am very much happy to have you here. And also, it's a great privilege for me to be presenting to you the little I know when it comes to social media marketing. So I am Mariette Laisin, and I'll be sharing on social media tactics for impact. So without wasting much of our time, I will just dive straight to what I have for today. So first of all, these are smart ways people use on social media to achieve goals. So coming to social media, you must have a goal in mind. Like you must have something that you want to achieve. Some people will come online to raise awareness. For example, you have a new brand, you want people to know about it. So you come online, you let people know about your ideas, your brand, and also a lot more. Others might come to create engagement, like get people to like, comment, and share their content. Why some others might be online to get leads, that is, attract people who may be interested in what they create. And also, others might also be there to build a community, while others encourage action. So, moving straight, talking about the tactics for impact, I would like us to look at the first one, which is understanding your audience. Who are your audience? The audience are the people in which you wish or you're interested in presenting your brand to. Okay, let's take a key example. Say me, Mariette, I have a brand that deals with documents. For example, I do things like CV, cover letter, and all the rest. So who are my audience? That's the first thing I need to ask myself. So somebody in my position will be looking for people who are job seekers, because you would align with me that 90%, or if not 99.9% of those who do CVs nowadays are those who are looking forward to applying for a job. I don't know if you get, it's in rare cases that you will hear someone saying that, do me a CV, let me keep while waiting for a job. People nowadays do CVs when they are already having a job to apply for. So who are your audience? Your audience, defining your audience will help you understand how to position yourself in the social media space, and also analyzing your audience behavior. Why, like, what do your audience interact more with? Do they really, when they see photos, like images, do they really like, comment, share? When they see videos, do they easily associate with it? Or when they see text? So understanding your audience will help you understand the type of content to create and how to create it. So the second point I have with me here is choosing the right platform. Content creation is not all about moving around randomly in all platforms and creating content. No, it's looking at the platform that relates more with your content. So the first thing you have to check is my audience. If my audience are those who like those who are interested in job, which platform can I easily get to them? Like, which platform are they easily found in? So for me, if I am doing things like CV and the other stuff that relates document for professional use, I will easily go to LinkedIn. Why? Because I have my audience there. And my audience are there looking for my services. So selecting a relevant platform is really key to you achieving your desired goals in social media. We have choosing the right content to post. If you have selected the right platform, you have to understand that if your audience are those who are looking for jobs, which type of content will they easily be attracted to? So if you share content relating to jobs, and then you hashtag things like, you put your call to action like, contact me if you want to apply, or contact me if you need a CV, contact me if you need this, they will easily take on to the call to action because you have gathered their attention. So another aspect is creating engaging content. So it is not something to doubt about storytelling. Storytelling is undoubtedly the most efficient content you can share. This is because it easily resonates with us. Telling a story, it captures your thoughts, and it's something that comes up once you get the story, get the headline of a story. It's something that you can recall over and over again. Even if you don't remember the name of the person telling the story, you will pick the idea, the information that is being shared in the story, the heart of the story. You have the idea that the person is trying to, you have the idea of what the person is trying to say through the story, and you will easily relate with the brand. For example, if I do pastries, I talk about eating cakes, you just know that if you want anything when you relation to bakings, you come to me because my story is in your mind and you know where you came across the story. So getting back to me won't be a problem. So another form of content that really resonates with people is visuals, like videos, graphics, and even images. Somebody says picture. One smart guy, I've forgotten the name, said pictures say 1,000 words. It's true. For example, if I show you a picture of someone running and another person following, you can easily tell a story. You can easily explain a whole lot just from looking at that picture. So pictures really create impact, like they help you sell your brand more than even words. So another strategy is building a community. So in building a community, you have to be consistent. And with consistency, you have to keep your audience engaged. That is, you reply to their comments, you ask them questions, they reply. In fact, you just keep it engaging. At times, you might even organize giveaways. With these giveaways, it attracts people because it's but normal that we all like free things. So if I say I'm doing giveaway, and if you bring me 20 followers, or you share my link to 20 people, you win this. People will easily get to do that because it's by nature that we like free things. And also, we have to create a community around your brand. That is, make people feel people belong. They should feel like they belong to your brand. This can be achieved through sharing behind the scene content. For example, if you are a skid maker, it's very much easy for you to share how you came about with the parts of the skits, join them together. People will follow, especially people who have interest in what you're saying, in what you're sharing. They would like to follow to know how you came up with this part, this part, this part. Then you join them to make a full video. You will keep your audience engaged. And then also you might also do spotlight followers, top followers. You always share them and appreciate them. This will also encourage others to follow. And then also you support your top followers, like through that other people will be interested in you because they know you help them too. So another tactic is tracking your metrics, measuring and optimizing your content. For example, if you have done several type of content, maybe you have shared a video content, you have shared a text content, you have shared a story, you like go through them and see which one has more engagement, which one has more comment, which one has more shares. Through this, you will know the type of content that your audience relate more with. If they relate more with video content, you will do more of that in the future. If they relate more with storytelling, you do more of that in the future. Then also you analyze data to improve your post in the near future. For example, if you have people who give negative, it's very normal that in social media there are times that people give hate comment, not because your brand is actually bad, but be patient enough to go through them and see what the point they are trying to make. There are times that your business is, it's true, someone say your brand is what your audience say to themselves, not what you say to yourself. So going through it will help you understand what some people face, the difficulties some people face in relating with your brand, and which, if you work with them, it will be much profitable in the future, as many people will be able to relate with it. So without wasting so much of our time, I would like to remind us on what we have looked at. We have looked at knowing your audience, where you have to understand things like where you can find your audience and how do they relate with things that you post, like do they interact more with videos, stories, or images. And then we have choosing the right platform, like knowing where your audiences are situated. If it's, for example, you're creating you're creating content, you're sharing, your brand is a fashion brand, especially for youth, like Lira rightly said, you go more on TikTok because that's where you find them. So you have to creating valuable content. In creating valuable content, you share things that are authentic, things that are relatable, and you engage, you comment. When they comment, you reply to comment of your followers. And then building brand loyalty, that is done by sharing authentic information, and also even things like come after you have you have a training, what people say about it, their testimonials. Sharing them will help people trust your brand, and also will help them engage more, since they have good they already have good insight about your brand, like what people say. And then finally, I would like to say social media isn't just for fun, it's a powerful tool, and it's also useful. And if you use it well, it makes a difference whether a business or an advocacy grows or it fails. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mariette. It is how soft spoken you speak that makes everything you say sink in so, so well. I feel like this, what they say is true. What they talk about, like minds think alike, because great minds think alike, rather. Because the three speakers today, Mariette, Ines, and Lira, they are they are like a web, talking about things that if we apply them practically, we are going to see a dramatic change in our social media exploits. So thank you very much, Mariette. Those tips you shared, those hacks are really powerful. And thank you for giving us a resume at the end of everything. There is something actually that you said that I picked up, which is very, very important, is when you mentioned that your business it's not about you, it's also about what your audience thinks about you. They have to feel a sense of belonging. And this other hacks you shared, when you mentioned that we should take our followers, our audience, our fans on a journey with us, let's not be ashamed to share embarrassing moments too with them, because it makes us human, and it also gives them a sense of belonging. And I like what you said when you spoke about tracking the metrics, so that you'll be able to discern what particular kind of content your audience actually resonate more with, because you're going to see it when it comes to the likes, the shares, the comments, and that makes you tailor your next content in order to suit the particular desires and wants of your followers. So thank you very much. Indeed, it was really, really a pleasure to have you with us today. But before you go far, I am going to start with you. There are a lot of questions. I see people, the chat box is flooding in. We are also going to take questions because our participants are really, really burning, and they want to know more how they can use all of this to the best of their advantage. But before Mariette goes off, please, I have a question for you. I'm going to start with you, then there's other panelists. With a very limited budget, let's say someone has a very limited budget, what are your top 3 quick win tactics for building a loyal and engaged audience? Because the economy is hard. It's not just here. There's inflation and a lot more. People's pockets are really struggling right now. So with a limited budget and with your experience, please give us your top 3, quick wins for people to use in order to make the best out of it. If you're with me, please, in 5 minutes, just give us, just tell us what you have.
Okay, please, can you repeat the question? I had a breakout of network here. Sorry, I did not get you well.
Okay, so I mentioned that with a very limited budget, say for someone who has a very limited budget and is looking towards a more engaged audience online, and they come to you as an expert in the field, asking you what are your 3 quick wins, what can they do in, let's just say, if you were to give them 3 solid and bullet advice on what they can do to get a more engaged audience, what is going to be your response to that in very few minutes?
Well, the first thing I would say is they should identify their audience and what their audience relate more with. Because first, I believe when you know your audience and what they like more, you will better know what to give to them and where to get them. For example, let's say if your audience are those who are interested in applying for jobs, it's easier if you advertise jobs more, because by so doing, you will get their attention. Not just the fact that they will go through it, but the fact that they will share with your friends, which is helping you getting both reach and I don't know, the impression, creating more impression and reach, because the fact that you show jobs to them, you post jobs on your site often, makes them aware that this is a site where we get jobs. And if I'm referring anybody for anything relating to job, this is where I will refer the person. So that it has helped you get both engagement and reach. So another aspect is the way you relate with your audience. It's much easier if I come to you and say, I saw this post you made and I'm really interested in it. And you're soft spoken, you're like, wow, this is it. These are the details about the job. There are some people that when you text them, they ignore. So the fact that you relate, you engage with them in a very pleasant way keeps them and also makes them refer you to other people. So engagement, not an option. It's a very big necessity in your branding or in your brand. So another aspect is building a community. The fact that when you post, people engage with it. At times, some people are more even encouraged to engage with your post because they see others engaging with it. I don't know if you understand. There are times that you post something, somebody will like it because other people are liking it. So if people are going through your brand, the way you brand yourself online, like they feel connected to this brand, they will like it, and their followers too will see it, and obviously they will like it if they relate with it. So how to build a community? You have to engage with them, not just engaging with them, also creating like some competitions among them, like giveaways and other small things that encourage them. Also, the fact that you have to be consistent with your post, reply to comments, ask questions, and even use hashtags. Hashtags improve visibility. I don't know if you know about that. And also organize live sessions where you get to answer some of their questions and even help them clarify their doubts. So creating a community around your brand helps you not only to build followers, but also to convert with your followers, because it's through knowing your business or your brand more that they will be able to take the call to action, which is either requesting for your service or product, or even keeping or referring you to other people. So my three takeaways or take home is build a community, understand your target audience, and also engage with them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. So I'm just going to move to the next question, and this is going to be answered by our very own phenomenal Ines Tama. Now, I was going through the chat and I saw a question there from Caroline K from Kenya, which also ties to what I was about to ask. So I am just going to give it a blend. So she was asking that if you could share a failed campaign or a campaign that didn't go as planned, because most of the time people actually share the successes and leave behind the things that did not work. So can you give us like an example of a content strategy or something, maybe one that actually did not succeed and one that succeeded because you did something differently from when it did not succeed? Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm really thankful for her question. We have Ezekiel in the chat who is saying that he cannot hear us. I hope that you can hear me correctly. I'm trying to really like shout. So I really hope that everyone can hear. So for the first question, she was asking about a time where maybe one of my content strategy or whatever action I took on social media did not work. It can happen often. One thing with social media is that you always have to test and try to reinvent yourself, because you cannot always be sure of what will actually work. We have the content strategy that will guide you through your journey on social media, but you always have to adapt yourself. So for instance, one time I was working on a paid campaign on Facebook, and I did not know much at that time about paid content on social media. It was like 5 years ago, and I wanted to promote a product for one of my clients. And what I did is I just went to Facebook and I clicked on the boost button. For all the professionals of digital transformation or everything regarding social media, you know that boosting is like just throwing your money into the trash can directly, because you are not able to choose exactly who you want to show your advert to, or you don't know the person that will see exactly your content. So it was really a good mess. and I throw the money of my client into the trash can. Exactly. So we did not have any good results. Actually, we had more visibility, but the kind of people that came into the Facebook account of my client were people from everywhere except the country that we actually wanted to touch, that we were actually targeting. So the client was here in Cameroon, but we had people from Pakistan, from India, into the comments, writing languages that we did not even know, that we did not understand. So it was a real good fail, I must admit. And that's from then I just said, okay, I need to know exactly how this works. And I've never had any other fail like that since then. One time that actually my content strategy worked and that I'm really proud of is when I came back in Cameroon in 2021 because I was living in Canada. One of my first clients was actually a French brand specialized in everything regarding perfumes. So it was the name is Adopt Parfum. So what they do is like they create very resourceful perfume that are made for young people around 18 to 35. Okay, and the packaging is really colorful. The way that they communicate in France or in Europe is really out of what you have been seeing regarding the world of perfumes and everything. That is pretty professional. So when the product came here in Cameroon and that I was in charge of making sure that the target audience will know about the brand first, but also that they will adopt literally the brand. First thing, the people from France, they were telling us that we just have to reciprocate, like do exactly what they were doing in France here. So just taking the same campaigns that they have already been doing there in France and everything. And it was not working for the first 2 months. It was really not working. People were looking at the packaging or the content like, oh, it's colorful, but I don't even see myself using it. Where is it coming from? But then one day I was like, okay, people don't see themselves in the content that we are creating, in the content that we are posting. How about we include ourselves like Cameroonians into the brand image? Okay, it's a French brand, but we are talking to Cameroonians. The Cameroonians should see the product into their everyday lifestyle. So that's how I started campaigns and creating content with actually our followers. And one of the main campaigns that I had to do, it was for Mother's Day in 2023. And what I did is we made like a whole campaign where we asked our followers who wanted to share about what they feel about their mother. They could come to us and we would tape it. And we had a lot of answers. We had like 15 people who came. We shot like really short videos of 30 seconds, yes, where people will say, okay, what I really like about my mother is that she smells good. She reminds me of a rose. She reminds me of this perfume and that and that. And really people, it changed the game. From that time, we were just using Cameroonians like any other people, not even influencers, really our followers, to shoot our content. And it changed everything because people were seeing themselves in our content, in the content of the product, and they were like, okay, this person looks like me. If she smells this, if she's using this, so I can use it too, so I can afford it too. And that's really what scales everything for us. And from then we changed our approach, the content strategy changed, and even the people in France were really blown away. So that's really one of my strongest content strategy that I'm really proud about.
Wow, thank you. That was very, very straight to the point and very easy to understand because you're right at every level. People need to feel connected. They do not want to feel like they are strangers to a brand. They actually want to be connected to that brand. They want to have a story. They want to have a kind of connection with it in order that in order for them to, for that brand to even have a chance of getting them as customers. So thank you very much. That was really, really honest of you to share your backlashes as well as your successes. These are the kind of stories participants they want to hear because it's not a bed of roses, actually, especially for startups. They find it very difficult how to actually break through an already crowded market, but forgetting to know also that when you come with your unique strategy and something that is not very, very, something that is not just all over the place, your chances are higher and you need to be authentic and true to yourself in the entire process. Thank you very much, Ines. That was really, really helpful. Now, in the spirit of storytelling, I am going to move to the first speaker of the day. That's Lira. It's been a minute we heard from her, and we are coming back to you, Lira. So, if you have also a very practical example, something that you have probably witnessed or seen in your experience, please share with us the kind of common mistakes that small businesses make on social media and how they can correct them as far as social media marketing is concerned. Have you had an experience that was very, very obvious to you that you guys are getting it all wrong here and this is how you can fix it? Please, if Lyra can hear me, we will be very, very happy to get your insights on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you once again. Yes, with respect to the common mistakes that most business people they make online, there are quite a whole lot. Yes, there are quite a whole lot, which all of us, like I myself, I am guilty of that when I started too, and one of the things is posting without objectives, posting without goals. Just come online and you're just starting. You see, you don't know what exactly it is all about. I mean, like I was in the when I was doing my classes, I was also helping my people. I was also helping some people who had some this little businesses beside me and in posting, and by then I hadn't really gotten a clear understanding of what the social media strategies were all about, the thing, you're just so excited. So I just found myself posting like I just come in the morning. I'm like, okay, the good thing is we need to post. So I just come in the morning, I post. Come in the afternoon, I post. Come in the evening, I post. And the very thing, over and over. But then I realized that nothing was working. I mean, the sales weren't there. There was because the main objective at that time was creating visibility, but it wasn't there. We could post something and then it's looking at us, we're looking at it, nobody's reacting, nobody's commenting. I was actually working for a friend. He knew that I knew something about social media marketing. He was like, okay, can you help me? And so we're trying to do those type of things, but it wasn't still giving the results. And it can become frustrating because give a solution, things like that. And I had to go back. I had to sit. I had to go back to my books. I had to do research. And then I realized that it wasn't just about posting. Yes, that's the main message that every time I want to talk about social media marketing, I keep emphasizing on. It's not about just posting. You need to post with clear goals. Okay, what is your strategy? Well, what is your strategy? What is the objective you want to attain? Okay, when you're able to know the objective you want to attain, you'll be able to know how to maneuver your post to suit that objective. Okay, you'll be able, because okay, I wanted to increase visibility for my friend's brand. The best way that I could do that was through storytelling. It was by making, because he was new to the platform. So people are like, who are you? First of all, they're not even seeing you. And then when they even try and see you, when your post pops up on your feed, they begin to ask, who are you? And so if they don't have that question, if they don't have that question answered, they're going to scroll down. Because if you don't answer that question, another person is going to answer that question. Yes. So I realized that if I focused more on the storytelling, on trying to tell what the brand was all about, using different tools, it could be like videos, it could be using behind the scenes, yes, because it was a cleaning agency. So sometimes when he's going to clean, we'll just, do videos and then come and post it. It makes people to be able to connect better with you. So I was able to understand that, the thing here was that I was actually posting, but I wasn't communicating with these people. It's like you standing with, okay, so me standing with you, and then I'm talking in Chinese, and you understand Arab. It doesn't make sense. I am talking, you're looking at me, and someone from afar will think that we are actually communicating. But the bitter truth is there's no communication going on, because you're not understanding me, and I am not even trying to make you understand me, So that was it. And then other things that actually, other mistakes that people make different platforms all at the same time. Yes, you just come online and you're like, Instagram is giving, let me get to it. Facebook is giving, let me get to it. LinkedIn is giving, let me get to it. Yes, I was a victim of that when I started. I just popped up. I just went Play Store. I downloaded all the social media platforms, and then I created profiles. And the good thing is that when you start, your blood is high. It's very anxious, And then 1 week, 2 weeks, you just die down, that type of thing. And so it is you. That's why I reinstate the fact that you should always start one step at a time. If you feel comfortable with Facebook, start with Facebook, and then you can continue with the other platforms when you have already made your name with Facebook. I remember I was working with another firm, construction firm, and then when I went with him, he told me, he specifically told me, because he understood this thing. He was like, you know what, Lira, I want us to start first with Facebook and Instagram, and then we can go to other platforms. And when we actually did that, because we were able to now channel all the things that we wanted to do on that platform, we're able to channel all our energies. And trust me, it really boosted up, helping us to be able to achieve our objectives. And another key thing is ignoring your audience reaction. That's one key thing that we tend to forget. We post and then we disappear. We come back and, we're just like, no, we're just like, okay, I don't need to talk with them. It doesn't make sense. No, you need to treat your audience online as a customer, as a physical customer. Like when a customer comes to a shop, okay, when a customer goes to a restaurant, you see how those service, the people who serve, they're very kind, very modest, very forward, like warming, warm welcoming. That is the same thing you need to do online. It's not because you're not seeing those people that you think that it cannot work online. No, remember, the most important thing is that you're trying to build a bond. So how do you create that bond? How do you build that bond? It's simply by taking everything that you used to do offline to online. So continue. If you were building that bond between your customer in that shop, bring it on, because your page is that shop. It's just that shop online. So bring it up. Don't just neglect your customers. Don't neglect your audience. It is not just about selling. Most of the times, especially with paid ads, when we create the ads, we think that that's all. When the customers, they are coming, we're really happy and we're like, no, that's it. No, that's what we call remarketing in Facebook. In all of this, it's an aspect in social media marketing, okay, wherein you need to go back to your customers and call them, those customers that had bought from you. You need to go back to them and call them. Remember, those are the ones that will set the tool, those set the foundation for other people to come to you. They are the ones that will give the reviews of how good your product was, how you were, to making those people to trust you so that they can come back to you. So how are you able to do that? You need to engage with them. You need to bond with them. You don't just sell to them and then you disappear. No, look for a way to come to bring them back, to make them feel secure and trustworthy. So anytime when that product gets finished, the first person that will come to your mind is you. So those are some of the mistakes that to avoid those things and ensure that we make sales or we achieve our objectives online.
Wow, thank you very much. That was very, very comprehensible. I feel like everyone is loving this because I can see the comments coming in powerfully. Great insights, Lira. That's powerful and all whatnot. People are really understanding what the panelists are sharing today. I think it is very, very easy and simple. You guys are making this discussion worthwhile. And everyone today, I am sure they are very, very happy that they are using this time to the best of their different advantages. But before Lyra goes off, the intention today was to make it short and sweet. We are rounding up with the questions. And for the participants, if you have anything that has been troubling you or anything, any doubt, it could be a big question, a small question, whatever. Do not go back with any doubts in your mind. If you have anything that you want to talk about or you have troubles with, please leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments because these big minds, Ines, Lira, Mariette, they are doing a very fantastic job and they are making this thing easier. They are decoding everything for us. But I have one more question for Lyra before she escapes us tonight. That's pending any other question that will come from the chat box. So I have this question. How has social media marketing evolved in Africa over the past 5 years? And what's the biggest trend right now? It's often said that you need to be careful not to come late to a party. There are a lot of people that they wake up to something that people have already used, made the best of. I remember in TikTok, for example, where the affiliate marketing came, TikTok shop came. But a lot of people, they always come like late to their party. So Lyra, in your experience, or where do you think Africa is right now, or what has been the evolution over the past 5 years, and what's the biggest trend right now that people can leverage in order not to be late to the party? In very few words, just state quickly. Thank you.
Okay, with respect to trends, like I mentioned some of them, use of reels, use of hashtags. If you're not using them, trust me, you're lagging behind. And use of WhatsApp business. WhatsApp business, has become a powerful tool when it comes to marketing. It's a way of direct communication from your audience to you. And so if you're not using it, trust me, you are lacking behind. And of course, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, like ChatGPT, yes. One of the key things, it helps you a lot when it comes to the technology world. And so if you're not using it, you need to get right into it. And in terms of where Africa is and how it has evolved, Africa has evolved quite a lot, yes, because as of now, there are a whole lot of people on the internet as compared to years back. So you realize that your customers are online, okay? And then we also have businesses shifting from traditional marketing. A whole lot of people their marketing, they're becoming aware about social media platforms. And so they're shifting from traditional marketing to online marketing. And so you realize that there is this push, there is this shift, there is this traffic jam within the business media. And so there is that need for you to stand out, to get updated. If you're still behind, you need to see how to skyrocket up there, especially within your niche, because there are a whole lot of competitors. You need to see how you can stand out. So those are some of the significant and positive impact, you know. And the trends that I mentioned, use of reels, use of hashtags, WhatsApp business, if you're not using it, please make good use of it. It's not just about messaging your family members, no. And of course, the use of artificial intelligence, key importance. Those are some of the trends that we should get to know about.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was just the bullet we needed right now. So going through the charts, someone wants to know that if you are starting, like you're a complete 101 person, which social media app is best for you to start? I think a lot has been spoken about already, but I'm sure that person still wants some reiterations. So I am going to invite Mariette. If Mariette is still with us, please quickly, can you just in a minute tell us if you are a beginner and you want to start exploiting all these handles? Where is the direction to go? Which corridor is best suited for what? Especially in very few words, you already spoke about that, but you know sometimes some people come and probably the internet problems they didn't quite catch. So if Mariette can answer that in very few words to tell us where to go for beginners, then it's going to be very helpful for all of us.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. What I would like to say is where to go depends on your brand. You understand, you would not like to take your brand to the wrong platform. For example, if you are doing content that is more of professional, like content that fits in the professional world, starting bit by bit from LinkedIn will be good, or Facebook too. Before, even if you're not yet advanced with LinkedIn, you can start from Facebook, then later on move to LinkedIn when you start mastering how to create content, because LinkedIn is very much professional, and maybe you're scared of doing the wrong thing there. So you first of all look for where your audience are. So where your audience are will tell you where to start from. I don't know if you understand. Having content, for example, your brand sells dresses, sell these fancy things for youth between the age of 18 to maybe 35. You would like to go for a TikTok because that's where the Gen Zs are. So your start from platform all depends on your brand. But nevertheless, you can try some brands that are not wholly that of your, some platforms that are not wholly that of your brand, but that are very much likely. For example, Facebook accepts a whole lot of content, educative contents, even videos, comedies, but it's not as professional as LinkedIn. So I will say your startup platform all depends on your content or your brand.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. Thank you, thank you. That was quite straight to the point. So we have actually come to the end of this very insightful webinar conference, the Digital Jam. Thank you so much for turning in. Thank you so much. You guys, I can already see in the comments that you did justice. You did justice to your respective topics, and your insights were very insightful indeed. Thank you so much. To highlight everything we've said, the three speakers basically just spoke about understanding your audience. That's the first, because all of them said the same thing. You need to understand your audience. Understanding your audience, choosing the right platform is very important. The right content to post, calling for actions, of course, then engaging with your content. Have a very engaging content, use visuals, graphics, pictures, images, and be consistent in building, because consistency brings reliability. And if you can't be generous, do little giveaways. People like free stuff. Let them also have a sense of belonging to your brand. Let them, you should take them on behind the scenes actions, what's going on, even your failures. Be bold enough, courageous enough to show them what can possibly go wrong here if they don't do like this or do like that. You also have to track your metrics. You need to analyze your data and everything. That is what we have been talking about the entire evening, and it has been nothing short of amazing and insightful. So we want to thank our brilliant speakers. Thank you very much for your wisdom. And to every attendee, partner, and digital maker, change maker turning in, your presence matters, and you are the reason why we are having this today. But we must not just also attend a conference and run off like nothing happened. We need to take action. The conversation does not end here. It does not end here. Let's turn insights into action. Let's code, create, connect, collaborate across Africa, across the borders. Let's share the vision. Let's build the networks. Join the mission to digitalize Africa once and for all. And as Kwame Nkrumah once said, Africa must unite. Africa must unite. And in this digital age, our unity is power by innovation, by inclusion, and by intentional leadership. This is not just a conference. This is a movement. Let's keep moving forward. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Derine. I remain your humble moderator. This was day 4, and I told you before, day 4 means foundation. Day 4 means stability. Day 4 means strength, but it does not end here. Let's gather again tomorrow for another insightful get-together so that we change our lives, we change Africa and the world for the better. Thank you so much for having me, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye-bye,
so much.
everyone.
Thank you so much to all the speakers for presenting today. At least it was really an interesting day. The day 4, at least it wrapped up very well. So before we wrap up with this session, I will be dropping the link to that's the attendance sheet, the link to the attendance sheet. So please make sure you fill the attendance sheet before leaving this live. We are not going to be sharing this link out of the live, so make sure you fill the form before leaving, because if you leave without filling the form, you have no other person to blame. Now, for those of you who usually come in probably 5 minutes before the end of the summit, trust me, if there is anything we have to consider as far as this summit is concerned, you will not be among, okay? You need to attend at least more than 3/4 of the session before you can be considered for whatever we have to do as far as the attendance sheet is concerned. So please actually note that, right? Again, we've been talking a lot about digital marketing. We're talking about e-commerce. We're talking about artificial intelligence. I just want to remind you all that there will be a session, a workshop on digital marketing and AI. So it's going to be a very good time for you to join the session. It's going to be an interactive session. It's going to be a practical session. So you are not only going to hear about digital marketing, you're actually going to live it. You're going to see how campaigns are created, how you can use social media platforms to reach out to clients or to your customers, how search engine marketing operates, how search engine optimization operates, and how e-commerce actually functions as well. So please make sure you mark your calendars. We're going to be sharing the next 5 days, the link to the next 5 days or the flyers for the next 5 days. So please make sure you note them and you register on time. This is very, very important. And as far as that workshop is concerned, that one is actually probably sponsored by Tactical Group Institute, where certificates, that's fundamental of digital marketing certifications at the end of that particular workshop. So that certificate will actually be for that workshop, please. So don't miss out on that. For those of you who intend to begin a career in digital marketing, that is an opportunity for you, thanks to Delta Group Corporation and Hilotech Construction for that particular session. So I will share the link right now. Make sure you fill the form. And please note that the same way, the information which you share on the form, that's the same information we're going to use for whatever we want to use the information for. So we don't want to get any feedbacks at the end or complaints, all right? Because it's going to be used, we have a system that is going to auto-generate everything. So make sure you fill the right information. All right, thank you all for joining the session, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time for the next summit. We are going to leave the live open again for the next 10 minutes. So make sure you fill the form in the next 10 minutes before you exit this summit. Thank you very much and good night to everyone. Bye-bye for now. And again, please, the moderator, kindly share your social media handles in the chat. I almost forgot. Please kindly share your social media handles in the chat so that everyone can connect with you as well. Very important, please. Please don't leave without connecting with all the speakers for today. All right, make sure you connect with them because you are going to learn a lot from them in future. And of course, you're still going to see these faces when we're having our physical events in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, in Cameroon, in Kenya. So please make sure you connect with them so that you can learn more from them. And of course, I believe most of them post on their social media handles a lot of great content which you can learn from. All right, thank you very much.